Okay, so in case you couldn't tell from the title, I'm going to be talking about student-teacher relationships. And no, I don't mean relationships that are usually how a student-teacher relationship should be. I'm talking about like straight up love or lust, whatever you want to call it. First off, I think we've all had attractive teachers. And there's like always that one teacher that you've had in your lifetime where it's like the other students were like, oh my god, that's crazy. Like for us, it was like, oh my god, he's so hot, he's this. But let's be real. The chances of a teacher liking you back in a sexual or lustful way it's it's probably in your head. But if it does happen, I think I wouldn't judge you if it happened. I mean, we've all had attractive teachers. I've had an attractive teacher before. But I think there's so many people out there who see it as a bad thing, see it as something that's like disgusting, it's crazy, but you cannot stop somebody from having an attraction to somebody, So it's like to say that a student and a teacher can't feel some type of attraction towards each other. It's just stupid. They obviously can. Now, what I want to talk about is when it comes into a professional issue. As in, if they're doing anything sexual, if he's doing stuff that makes her uncomfortable, if she's doing things that makes him uncomfortable, stuff like that. If you're a teacher and you like a student, you should keep it at a professional level. You should not run around, you shouldn't grab their ass as they're leaving your classroom, you shouldn't play favorites. A teacher should know better than to mess around with the student and potentially lose their job over a stupid little affair. Because the chances of you finding the love of your life with a student or with a teacher is it's possible, but it's not really something that happens often. So you should not, even if you like a teacher, even if the teacher likes a student, you should not be putting the teacher's job at risk. You absolutely shouldn't, because if you really liked that teacher, you would not want to do that to them. And the same goes the other way around. If you're a student and you like a teacher and you're like, oh, this teacher is hitting on me, this teacher is, he's dropping hints, you should leave it alone. Because any teacher who straight up goes for a student like that it's childish and it's not professional at all. And it means that you're not going to be the only one. If he straight up just dives for you, you're not the only one. And you're most likely not special. He's probably gonna do it next year when you're out of his class and he has another really attractive, really funny, witty, quirky teenage. And it goes for both genders, obviously. But I'm just saying it from a girl's perspective, since I'm a girl and, I've had attractive teachers. And, that's just how it is. If one of my friends were like, I really like this teacher, I think he likes me too, I'm going to be like, well, first of all, he's like 10 years older than you, but that age difference doesn't really matter. It matters now because of the law, but in the future, in like 5 years, it's not going to matter anymore. Like if you're 20 and he's 30, if you're 30 and he's 40, that's like age difference doesn't matter. So when people say that it's disgusting because of age, I'm kind of like sometimes people say, oh, it's disgusting because they're your teacher, oh, it's disgusting because that's your student. I would say that it's not. I would only say it's disgusting because you should be professional about it. You're in a professional workplace, you met them through teaching, and you should keep it like that. Also, I feel like being a teacher, you should be more responsible because they're teens and they can, they're not as rational as adults. So I feel like the teacher should be a lot more rational about it. The teacher should not, even if they really do like that student, they should not persist after them, because that's just a child. Like, if you're a teacher, your students can look up to you. I know for me, I've looked up to my teachers a lot. I've liked them, and I would probably go to them if I had a problem before I go to my parents. It's just how it is. Like, your students will look up to you. Even if the majority of your students don't like you, there will be a few that will look up to you. And I feel like as a teacher, you should recognize that and realize that maybe that student that you like doesn't like you back. Maybe you're like her favorite teacher and you're the only one she feels comfortable with. So it should not go into anything personal, anything sexual, especially sexual. If you get into each other's personal lives, that's fine. If he's married and you're sucking his dick, that's not fine. But if he's single, he just got out of college, he's teaching for the first year or whatever, it's fine, but you should not persist after a child, especially. Once you get to college and you're in a university and that's your professor, that's a little different. I would say that's a little okay, but especially if you're teaching at a high school or a middle school, maybe. Definitely not elementary school. If you're persisting after an elementary schooler, that's just crazy, and it doesn't matter if you love them with all of your heart. You're crazy and you should get arrested because they're a child. You should not be doing that. But like I said, I know some people who have told me like, oh yeah, I think me and this teacher had this thing. That was over the minute they left that classroom and went onto a different grade, onto a different school. Like, it was over. If you think that you and a teacher are having something, just don't worry about it. Don't put anything at risk, especially for that. Now, if I'm going to talk about those people who do have sexual relations with your teacher, just don't get caught, if anything. If you get caught, then you're stupid and you deserve to get caught. It's as simple as that. If you can do that and get away with it, what can I do? You're getting away with it. Nobody knows. Maybe somebody close knows, but nobody knows. From a student's perspective, it might not even seem that bad. You're like, you're with this teacher that everybody's like, oh my god, they're so hot, you're doing all this, you're getting away with it. Okay, teens are rebellious. But from the teacher's perspective, is that student really worth your job? Considering who's going to want to hire you after that once they figure out that you got fired from your job because you were eating a girl out or, something like that. Not only that, but you're a teacher and you should know the boundaries. Let's say that this student does seem to have an attraction towards you. If you start to do something and she doesn't like it, that's even worse. That's not you two are having a relationship, you two are in love. That's you sexually harassing her if she doesn't want it. And you never know, girls can do a lot of things, especially teens. Let's say you guys have a sexual relation and her parents find out. And she's like, oh, I didn't do that, he raped me. You're screwed. The point is, for the being a teenager, having a relationship with your teacher, that's fine. Being a teacher and having a relationship with your student, that's unprofessional. Wait till they're 18. Wait till, it's allowed to do so. Otherwise, that's just unprofessional and you shouldn't be doing it. But yeah, on the side note, if you and your teacher are happily in love, you guys are gonna get married, invite me to the wedding. Don't invite me to the wedding. I don't think I'd go. But I don't know, send me photos. Be like, yeah, I love my teacher. He taught me in 5th grade. I don't know. But yeah, that's all I have to say. Goodbye.